Whoops. Nano dressing trim coat. I'm working on it, people. I'll get it here sooner rather than later, hopefully. But take it easy on me. I'll let you know, believe me. I've been accused of being the consummate salesman, so I'll let you know the second that it shows up. And I'll let you know when I've ordered it and let you know when everything happens. So I'm going to take a little suede, cut it, have a little piece. I'm going to take our trim coat, gonna get a little bit on the pad here, and I'm going to go and knock out the trim. You know, this trim is clean enough that I don't think I really need to worry about hitting it with any kind of IPA or anything. We cleaned it pretty well earlier. This stuff is pretty easy to do. Put it on somewhat evenly on the porous plastic. Got to get a towel and wipe it off. Use an amazing, nice, clean, satin-looking finish. Satin-looking finish, not looking. Again, I'm not going to worry about all this stuff, but I do want to hit this section here. This will look nice, coated. At least the bulk of the front of it. If you wanted to get really crazy, which I guess why not? We're in it this deep. Might as well tuck it in each little hexagon here. There's only a few hundred of them. All right, got it. Wipe off the excess. Man, that looks great. Awesome. I love black trim that is clean and neat and organized. Done. So I'll do the other mirror. The trim's done. All right, this is a brand new technology. These two products, I'm not gonna show you what they are because it's top secret. I'm gonna start selling in the store. These are gonna be $22 a piece, and this is gonna be $80. Seriously though, it's 91% IPA from Walgreens and some Bounty. And we're gonna prep the window. You could use eraser, you could use window cleaner. I like going straight up IPA. That way I know for sure I've got it clean. I'm ready to accept my glass sealant. Man, I love this car. This thing is easy to do. Not a lot of trim, not a lot of glass, not a lot of paint. So everything kind of works out. So we'll do both the side windows. I like to grab my glass towel and just do a secondary wipe. So now we're ready to put our glass coating on. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the front windshield and we're good to go. All right, so I'll take my glass sealant, just do a couple of these, shake it up, put it on. Usually the side windows I only do a single coat. On the windshield I'll usually do two. So I'll let that haze over and then wipe it off. And then we're done with our glass. I'd forgotten about this trim here and the trim up underneath, so I knocked that out too, and not on camera. Glass is setting up there. Let's hit the wheels and tires here real quickly. A little bit of Corporal Pearl. This is diluted 1:1. Now remember, if you go back to episode 1 when we do the wheels, there was quite a bit of some sort of silicone-based, real slimy looking tire shine on these. So Pearl, it's gonna be a while. He's gonna have to clean it using, Adam's rubber and tire cleaner for a while. Really kind of get through all that junk. I mean, my RS had the same thing. Took forever to get that junk off of there. And so he's going to deal with some mediocre looking tires for a while. So I'm going to go around, I'll do all the tires like that, and then I'll come back and wipe it off. So by the time I get around to the last tire, or finish the last tire, I can come back, just do a little wipe. I like to use the lower pile side for the tires. Just work it in. Another thing which I didn't bring was sponge. Another little tip here is to take the sponge and work it in and then wipe off the excess. So there's our tire, and then we'll come back and do the wheel here. Since I'm slacking on you all, I'm going to do a quick C2V3 application. I don't know how this will work, but I guess we can try it. Can't hurt to try it, right? So at least have something on the wheels. Sorry to Eric, but I'm not wheels off in this one. You only get wheels off on my own car. Even my dad's car didn't get wheels off, so sorry to the world, but I only have so much energy for detailing cars. I feel for all you guys that kill it every day, doing full-on correction, protection, the whole nine. So there's a quick little cheat wheel application there. Cool. Wheels are done. Let's address the glass. See, to me that looks pretty darn good. Nice, simple satin finish. The C2V3 didn't do much other than just maybe it'll probably add a little bit of water beading, but eventually, if this was my car, and if we had a little more time, again, I'm heading to Pennsylvania in a day and I have a lot to do over the next couple of days, I'd take the wheels off and we would polish them if we needed to and coat them, probably use C5 or maybe just Crystal Serum Light, but that looks great. Probably coat the calipers as well, so I'm cheaping out a little bit here on Eric because we just for time, but that looks great. Another thing it just occurred to me, I'm gonna hit this with some Wolf's trim coat. I was thinking about putting EXO on it. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll just do EXO when we coat the top of the car. I'm saying interior products are coming. I have a lot to do with a lot of different products I already have that I got to take pictures of and get up in the store, and it's tricky because I don't want to ram all this stuff down your throat and turn everybody off. I mean, this is what I'm most interested in: product testing and playing with stuff and vlogging, sharing my life, and unfortunately for the viewers that aren't interested in products, that's a big part of what I'm into. So. Anyway, let's get the glass cleaned up. And all right, glass is pretty simple. I'm gonna grab some Griot's window cleaner, hit it with a couple of little, oops, shoot, I don't want to do that. A couple of spritzes of glass cleaner, get the stuff off the paint, get it clean. Applicator broke apart and got all up in there. I have to vacuum that out. I found that this glass cleaner doesn't really break down the seal, and it just helps lubricate it so I can wipe it better, easier. Get the sealant off of there. Secondary towel. And we're done. So we'll do that to the windshield and the other side window. And we're complete on the glass. Last step to do is the EXO top coat and the C2V3 top on top of that. Top on top of the top for the top. All right, I'm jammed over here in the corner. It's a darn Rupes Bonanza over here, shipping all kinds of Rupes stuff. I've already ran out. I just had to order more. It's incredible. I got 2 pallets of it and I haven't ran out. All right, so let's talk EXO. This is V3. I think V4 is out. I'm not sure. Anyway, Eric sent me V3 for a reason, so I've got V3. I don't think this stuff is as easy to install as the crystal serum, but we're about to find out. So I finished this up at, let's see, finished up about 9:30 this morning. It's 2:30 now. So I've been working on inventorying all the Rupes stuff, helping my parents figure out what's what. And so now we're gonna go and do the same exact process of wipe on, wipe off, doing 2x2 sections, using 2 towels, one with the higher pile, one with the lower pile. I used 4 total towels doing the crystal serum, so I'll probably do the same thing here. So use 2 for about half the car. So what I do is I'll use the flat side, do about 1/4 of the car, then I'll flip each towel, and then we'll do the other 1/4 of the car, then throw the towels away and start over fresh with some, a new set of towels. So doing 4 total towels, they're 90 cents a piece, so no big deal. All right, so we got some on the pad. And do same basic idea. Wow, the paint feels way slicker than it did before. I don't know if it's a combination of this product or if it's the crystal serum that's underneath. Let's start small, and then we can add a little more space to the application as we go on here. Again, I think the application's the same. Oh yeah, I see what people are saying. This isn't going to come off nearly as easily. I'm probably going to have to use more lights. Make sure that we don't smear this or streak it and leave some behind. The idea here is that this becomes a sacrificial layer, which, at some point, I guess we should probably draw the line of having too many tops to top the top for the topper. But I guess if we're doing it, we'll just do it right. Yeah, certainly not difficult to do, but the wipe off is a little more intensive than the other, than the crystal serum. And I feel like I can do a little bit larger area. Than I was doing with the main coating. And this could be used as a standalone by itself, but I don't think you get nearly as durable or as hefty of a base coat with this as you do with the crystal serum. Yeah, we're pushing it around quite a bit more. I could see how this would be really difficult to deal with in humidity. I've got this place at 42% or 43% humidity. We're sucking out like 50 pints of water out of here every day with my dehumidification system that my buddies at Kalos hooked me up with. So the EXO has a little rubber applicator on the top. So this is layerable, but I'm only doing 1 layer. Sorry, Eric. If you want another layer, that's up to you. I'm not doing it. Call me a bad friend. Yeah, I can tell by the end of the car I'm gonna be doing a lot larger sections. But you're better off being safe than sorry going too big of an area and having a mess on your hands. But I like the application of these products more than the others, where I don't have to, I said this when I was doing the crystal serum, I don't have to worry about the timing of it. You just put it on and take it off. The only thing you have to manage is the size, application area size, or size area. And I certainly wouldn't recommend, especially with crystal serum, since you're only putting 1 layer on. I only used a little bit more than 1/3 of a bottle. That was the 30 ml bottle, so don't buy the big one. That certainly won't be necessary. I don't know, I found that doing three separate passes seems to be, I tend to keep it organized that way, making sure to overlap so they don't miss any spots. But yeah, in this climate controlled environment, this is a piece of cake still. Requires maybe 3 more wipes than it did before, but it's coming off smooth, nice and easy. I just have to make sure I'm wiping the adjacent panel so I don't leave anything left over. But man, it looks good. So I'm gonna keep rolling through this. I'll show the result when we're done. All right, the EXO, it does look a lot different, you know. A lot of times you do this stuff and it looks just like it did when you polished it, but it does give it quite a bit more depth. I think, you know me, I always have to be difficult, but I think I like this. You know, it certainly looks like a coating, looks different than wax. I'll be interested to see how I like it out in the sun. We've got all the trim done. I actually ended up put EXO on this, on the rear splitter. I put EXO on this plastic here. Obviously all the carbon, of course we have woofs that we put on here. Didn't do anything there. We coated and EXO'd the surround, so crystal serum and that. But yeah, it looks pretty legit. You know, a lot of this comes down to the polishing, right? So this certainly needed the 2-step, you know, Jescar and wool. So I just ordered a bunch of wool because I know when you guys see these videos, you're gonna wanna buy it. So blue coarse wool is a great compliment to have. It just flat out did better than the microfiber. So I was uncertain if I would actually use it, but now there's no question. You know, they have the difference, there's the PPF. I think you guys can see the line there to the paint. Windows are done, the trim is done. I didn't crystal serum the headlights. I did crystal serum the tail lights, but I did EXO both. So there's EXO on the headlights. Don't ask me why, I just feel like EXO will be easier to get off. So you could do another layer on this. I'm not going to. We're gonna wait about an hour, and then we're gonna put C2V3, which is just a spray topper, and then we'll have our 3 layers of protection. So I'm gonna put the top up now, and we're gonna put the 303 on that. I'll show you how to do that. It's been a long time since I had to treat a convertible top, but it's as simple as spray it on, wipe it off with a microfiber towel. It's not rocket science, but look at that. Looks pretty legit, huh? So yeah, it's cool. I don't have the right towels here, so I'm just gonna use my good old-fashioned polish removal towels. But I think, if I remember correctly, I just spray this on here and wipe it off. Yeah. I'm gonna do this without getting it all over the paint. Yeah. So we just spray it on. Wipe it off. Nice and easy. So I've found, you know, over the years of having my S2000s, if I just do this once every couple of months, that's all I need to do. Problem solved. If you had to restore it, I don't know. I'm the wrong guy to ask. All right, let's do our final wipe here, C2V3, which should be pretty basic. I should get Rex over here. I'll spray it and you wipe it, meaning I'm kidding. I just spray and stand there and watch you do it. I want to see how this does, what it feels like. So I think this stuff should be shake well. Do not apply in direct sunlight. Spray on a clean microfiber towel. Wipe onto the car. Buff off with a clean cloth. For increased gloss and protection. Isn't this great? I should just read the directions of bottles and videos. Call it my review. Layer for increased gloss. C2 can be used as a drying aid by spraying onto a wet surface, one panel at a time. All right. So I got 2 towels. One is going to be the applicator towel. So we'll do one of these. A couple sprays. EXO's been on the car for about an hour and a half. Do a couple of sprays and wipe it on. I mean, it gets a little ridiculous here with, and how many layers of stuff do we need, right? But why not? What happens if I spray it on here? I like that better. Makes me feel like I'm getting more on there. We're gonna do that. This is fun though. Lots of layers, lots of coating shininess. I do think that this, so we'll do the top first and then I'll raise the car up. I do think that this is this combo is a reasonable product. I think it's worth it. I mean, this does look pretty darn good. I need to get it out in the sun, but everyone who's walked in here agrees, and that's pretty typical of a coating, that I'm the only idiot who questions it, because most people see a coating and say, man, that looks amazing. I'm using the Pluffle here because it's what I got, but this actually is working out to be a good towel for this application. So this seems pretty uneventful. Certainly is going on easier than Reload, what I'm accustomed to. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if I'm seeing much of a difference in what it looks like, but I think that using this as a topper would be pretty viable. Let's hit this, and we can put our plate back on. I like this because some other coatings, this still feels slick to me, which is, I don't know, just one of the things that I appreciate. A lot of coatings, when they're fresh or gummy, kind of sticky. ISM is a lot like that. It takes a while for it to feel less, whatever you want to call it, gummed up on the surface. So I like the fact that this feels complete to me. Yeah, I like spraying this right on here better. I don't like to follow the instructions, it seems, in this world. It's part of the reason why Access Garage exists, because I don't do so great at following instructions. I like making the instructions. But sometimes that means you get it completely wrong. I'm okay with that. Hope you're okay with that too. But I could certainly do, now the car's clean and dry, I'm gonna do this whole car with one towel. No problem. So some of you diehard wax guys are probably flipping your lid right now that we're doing all these layers and layers of stuff. All right, so that's C2V3. I'm gonna, I guess, get the car off of here and maybe wrap up the video or the series. I wanted to make this one a little bit shorter, not get into it quite as much detail, because we just did a car prior to this. So I'm going to finish up this application, come back to you. Jam myself in the middle of the chaos here at HQ. I got to figure something out, and I got to figure it out fast. I gotta move all kinds of stuff to get this thing out of here, because we're spilling at the gills here. So I'm gonna go warehouse shopping here soon, I guess. let's just recap. Eric will have to go back and watch this video. I have to fit this stuff in when I can because I'm running pretty hard these days. But I wanted to recap the sort of the process here and what we did and what we went through for the car. So first step was to get it at in the wash bay. And one of these days I need to use the pressure washer system out here, the on-wall system. But I guess why would you when you have a dedicated wash bay with a boom ball, right? So took it over there. We did the wheels and tires, just a basic cleaning because I didn't do a wheels off coating or anything like that. Maybe I'll do that when I run out of videos to do someday in the near future. So we did wheel cleaning with the Adams wheel cleaner, Adams rubber and tire cleaner. We did want to get some of the silicone-based stuff off. So remember I grabbed the, what was it, Stoner's Terminator, and we hit it with that a little bit to try to break down some of that silicone stuff that's on the tires. Wheels, tires, hit the rotors with some hides after we were done washing, but prior to the hides, we did a full decon using the, we call it the decon wash, the stuff that's launching. I guess it's already launched, my signature version, until I can get a better bottle and actually call it something legitimate. We did the citrus wash, or the decon wash with the decon soap. So foamed it, put that in the bucket, did a normal wash. Then we rinsed it with deionized water, hit it with the CarPro Iron X. So spray it on the car, let it sit for 5 minutes, rinse that off with DI water, and then we tested the car. I thought maybe it wouldn't need to be decontaminated, but in typical Florida fashion, it has to sit outside for 1 or 2 days, and you're going to need to decon the darn thing, or chemically or mechanically decontaminate it. So we did nanoskin auto scrub. I showed him and you how to use a clay bar, but there was no reason for it. Auto scrub fine, knocked it out between the big 6-inch pad with a hand holder. Combined with the little sponge. And we did that with nanoskin glide. Then gently dried the car off, rushed over here as fast as possible because it was about to rain. Luckily we got here because it torrential downpour pretty much all night. So we got it into HQ in the climate control, dehumidified, air conditioned. We have 75 degrees in here, nice and comfy so the car could dry overnight. I came in early yesterday morning and taped the car off. I like to let it sit overnight so that all the little things, all the little areas can dry off. Nothing worse than trying to tape up a crack and there's water running out and your tape doesn't stick. Combined with when you start polishing, all that vibration shakes the water out. So I like to wait 10 or 12 hours. So if I'm timing it, I want to, let's say I was doing it on the weekend, I would do it Friday night, do the decon, Saturday morning, start the taping, start the polishing. We then, of course, did a test panel, which I had a heck of a time figuring out what the heck to do. It's been a while since I've dealt with Audi paint. I back one of my S4 days, but my S4 never really needed much because I maintained it right from the get-go. I didn't let the dealership touch the darn thing. And Audi's great because they ship the car in that big white wrap, and so I unwrapped the car myself. So it's set out on testing, doing a test spot. So we did it over here on the door here. I might suggest doing it in a less prominent location. The reason I did it there is because of the lighting or the camera set up for here, but you may want to do it in a spot in case you mess something up. I was pretty confident we could get by without screwing it up. So started with perfect finish and a yellow pad, and I thought I had it licked. It wasn't getting it all out. Then switched to Jescar correction compound and a microfiber cutting pad, Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad. That did okay, and then I'd settled on doing that. We were using the yellow polish removal towel, but for whatever reason on this hard paint, it was really hard to get the scratches out, but yet I was getting toweling marks. And so I was forced to switch to a softer towel. So I ended up pulling out my door jamb towels and using those for the removal. That, and I decided, why don't I give the wool pads, the coarse wool, the correcting pad from Rupes a try. And sure enough, the result of that was amazing. Pulled out 95% of the defects. I decided not to spot treat this. There are still a few little scratches, little deeper scratches that we didn't really chase on this car. So I'd call this, a 93% correction, we'll call it. I ended up two-stepping it. You saw later on, I put a big 6-inch pad, or I'm sorry, 7-inch, I guess you call it a 6-inch backing plate on the Duetto, the 12E. Stole that from my buddy Andy Ward. Flew around the car, did a jeweling with Sonex Perfect Finish, and we had a process down, so we were able to knock out the whole car. The carbon, the PPF, we ended up one-stepping that with the finishing polish, the Sonex Perfect Finish. So I think wool pads are a real viable thing. I just ordered a boatload more of them. A lot of guys really like them at the Rupes event, so if you're looking for a sales pitch, I guess you should probably buy those because it's a good thing to have in the arsenal. I had them way overpriced in the store because I followed what everybody else was pricing them at, but now if you check in the store, they're much more reasonable. They're still expensive, and they're sold individually, but I'm buying them in boxes of 50, and I'm usually buying them 200, 300 at a time, and so the pricing I think is a little off in the industry, so I don't do what everybody else does. I just make this stuff up myself. So I'm not looking to undercut anybody. I'm just looking for a fair profit on the product. But I think the wool pad has a good place. 3-inch, you'll need the 1 1/4 inch, which are hard to get right now. And you'll need, as I was saying, and you'll need the 5-inch pads, the wools. Use that on your LHR 15 Mark II. So we use the 3 main tools, 3-inch, 5-inch, and 1-inch on the Nano. So those are the 3. If I was going to make any recommendation to you, you'd want the LHR 15 Mark II. You'd want the LHR 75E, or if you have a massive air compressor, do the 75 pneumatic, and then the Nano with a 1-inch pad. With the I like the DA. I know a lot of people like the rotary. I like the DA better. You certainly don't want to use rotary with microfiber. You could use it with the wool, but I like the DA action on that. Then after we were done, I blew the car off with the compressor, wiped it down with CarPro Eraser, got it prepped and ready to go for the coating, which we were going to do. I've been wanting to test out ever since I went to the G-Technic Summit. Wanted to test out Crystal Serum Light, topped with EXO. I have EXO V3. Eric sent me V3. V4 wasn't out yet, which I didn't have a problem with V3. I think it looks great. And then top that with some C2V3, which is the spray, silica spray sealant. I'm assuming it's SiO2. Maybe I should talk to Robert, the managing director, the owner of G-Technic, ask him what it is. I think he told me, but I've forgotten. So process pretty simple there. I'm cheating a little bit because the humidity is controlled. We're at like 43 to 46% humidity because of a big giant dehumidifier in here, so it's a lot easier than it would be outside, I'm certain. But we got the project done. I started this morning. It's like 3 o'clock now. I took hours in between to let it set up, and so I waited about 3.5 to 4 hours between the Crystal Serum Light and the EXO, and I waited about an hour between the EXO and the C2V3. I've read or I've heard that you could put EXO on, or maybe it's even recommended to put EXO on right away. Whatever I did worked. It looks fantastic. So, the jury's out for me. I'm gonna have Eric come back and I'm gonna test. I'm gonna teach him first wash. We'll probably do a wash and drive. I want to see how it holds up, how it does, and maybe this is the coating for the store. The people at G-Technic, I'm telling you, and I know I tend to open my mouth too much in this game and tell you what my margins are and tell you how much we're selling, and just I'm probably a little overly candid, but I'm telling you that the people at G-Technic, there's something about them. I went to the summit. I think they're headed for the moon. The guys at Geon are great. Actually, most of the companies are great. Obviously, Corey at CarPro has been a great partner of mine. Has been amazing. Brings in great products, and the G-Technic people are in that caliber, right? And they're the ones bringing the product over from, I guess it's probably made in Korea, brought through the UK to the US. So G-Technic North America, Eric, Shannon, Andrew, the managing director here in the US. All just the fact that I'm remembering names, which I'm so bad at, means that they've got something special there as a company, and then the support for the product is really, really powerful. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it just occurred to me while I'm sitting here looking at the car. While in between steps of doing the crystal serum and doing the EXO, I did the windows. I like woofs better. So woofs on the trim, woofs on the windshield, woofs on the side window, so the woofs trim coat. I'm hoping to have that soon. I've been working with Tomas out of Hungary. I think it's Hungary, maybe it's Romania, to get it here. It's tricky because the stuff is flammable and has a big red X on the darn MSDS. So I've got to, I know it comes here, I know it can get here, but it's a little trickier than just bringing it in like other products. So anyway, fun project. It kind of came at an inopportune time, and I'm heading to Pennsylvania, so stay tuned for that. Troy and I are going to be doing an install of the custom install solution in his garage. It's going to look sick. And we'll be talking more about that and fumbling. I'm doing the install, so we'll fumble through it together. And so stay tuned for that coming here. And then my dad's WRX I just did a week and a half ago. So I'm detailed out for a little while. But stay tuned for more cool stuff. And as always, stay tuned for more crazy. Thanks for watching. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.